In the middle of downtown Grapevine, Texas, we found a church that, like many others on a Saturday morning, sat desolate and quiet. Or so it seemed. While this church may look that way, the sign outside reading Southwest Bluegrass Club meeting gives away its secret. And a beckoning banjo leads us through the doors and into a place where history is being preserved.
My mother and dad are laid there to rest. They're sleeping in peace together there.
We're the longest existing bluegrass club in the state of Texas. It'll be 50 years in 2024. And our group comes from everywhere, but mostly, it's the North Texas area. But you do get to meet people from all areas of life that, you just wouldn't know. And the musicians, like the professional musicians, they want to play with even the homeless guy that might have a guitar. They don't care where. That's, I think, the best thing about bluegrass, is they don't care where you come from, who you are, what your pedigree is, or your profession. They just want you to play music.
Back in 1974, a group of musicians formed the Southwest Bluegrass Club in an effort to save the music they love by bringing bluegrass players together. Nearly 50 years later, the club is still doing just that. But while most members are quick with their hands and fast on their feet, Debbie Morrow couldn't tell you the difference between a violin and a fiddle. The only thing that matters to her is keeping the tradition alive for her family.
So we moved here to Grapevine in 1994. Turned out there was a bluegrass club in Grapevine. The current president at that time was ill and needed to step down. And they were talking all this stuff at the meeting about the club was going to shut down. And I started thinking about, where would my husband go play music? And I thought, and I would never see all my friends again. So I raised my hand and I was like, I'll be president. And then this other guy, Bill, goes, well, I'll be vice president if Debbie will be president. And then somebody else said, well, I'll be secretary, and suddenly everybody was volunteering, which nobody was before I said that, And I was like, oh, okay. So that's how I became president, because, I didn't want to lose the people.
It's not the card.
Even though Debbie can't play a lick on a banjo or a mandolin, she's been running this club for the last decade just to make sure the hard work of the club's founders doesn't get lost to time.
What's interesting to me is somebody from your background who doesn't have a background in music whatsoever. It seems like you've got a lot of passion for this group and this music in general. Why?
Because the people, because I love them. And I love my husband so much. And I want him to be happy. And for him to be able to get together and play music is really the reason I do it.
Over the last 50 years, the Southwest Bluegrass Club has seen the likes of the Chicks and Tom Uhr come and go, but the legacy of this club keeps members flocking through the doors. On any given Saturday, you'll find the jam circle crowded with people from all walks of life playing music together to create a perfectly improvised cover of the bluegrass staples we all know and love.
So my dad, when he was in college, he went to Texas State, and he had a ton of friends that went to UT, and they would always go see these up-and-coming Texas country people, and he just kind of passed that on to me, and I love it so much, even though it's so different for my generation, but I just love it so much, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
I think what's really different about bluegrass of everything is you can take 10 people who do not know each other, and you can say, we're having a jam Saturday night And these 10 people who don't know each other will sit down in a circle, start playing, play for 5 hours, and you would think that they were a band that's played together for years. It's so amazing, you know, how they do that.
For Debbie Morrow, this group has been a way to stay connected to her husband and make friends with all kinds of people. But now she says it's time to hand over the torch to a younger generation.
After 9 years of being president for you guys, and I love you all so much, I'm stepping down.
This is Debbie's last meeting as president of the Southwest Bluegrass Club. No other place has given her a greater sense of belonging. And along the way, she's come to realize the importance of carrying on traditions. In the grand scheme of things, why is bluegrass important? Why do you think it is?
It breaks the barrier of class, and it breaks the barrier of, you know, color and all that, and we need to have those traditions. I mean, if we get rid of all the traditions, what will we have left, you know?
9 years ago, Debbie Morrow stepped up to the plate to keep this club from getting lost to time. For Debbie and her husband, this hasn't just been a place to play music, it's been a place to call home.
It's going to go much bigger than me. They'll be able to really grow the club. In fact, they have. Just by these people joining the club, we've grown so much. And I know I was the glue. I held it together, and I smile and be nice, and everybody loves me, and I love all them, and that's fabulous. But now I see a quality of organization that's so much beyond what I could do with my leadership, and I'm so happy to pass that on to younger people who are more energetic and who are more willing to have more, not modern ideas that would take away bluegrass, but modern ideas that would enhance bluegrass.
Think of you and remember our faded love.
Yeah. That was great.